rest in peace to her. She used to always say, man, you still be looking at that fake stuff? And I'll be telling her, I'm like, look, man, you ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing at all. But you like Stone Cold Steve Austin, though. Oh, yeah, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? That's what she be saying, you know. But, I mean, to each his own, man. I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want to know how fake it is, why don't you go ahead and try to be a wrestler? Why don't you try to do what they do? Because I'm going to tell you something. Even football players, like, I remember a time when Lawrence Taylor said that, matter of fact, that was like, he didn't understand how rigorous the training was. Yeah. And he found that out in the main event against Bam Bam Bigelow when he came backstage and that boy was looking white as a ghost. he about blew his chunk, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I would hear these stories and they were talking about Lawrence Taylor, and I remember Kevin Nash was saying something like, he said, yeah, you know, we out drinking and we doing this and doing that. And Lawrence Taylor, he said, we running Lawrence Taylor. I was like, damn. He said, y'all out too? He was like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, he didn't realize that they actually can still function and do what they, you know what I'm saying, what they trained to do. Yeah. Where he's a football player, he played for so many seasons. The one time he wrestles, you think he got some win. No. He about died out there. Like, you have to really, like, and it's a lot of people that actually, you know, they actually train with the wrestling teams. You know what I'm saying? They say that's like the most rigorous training ever. So, yeah, I mean, of course, you know, they trying to put on a show. Of course, they know who's going to win. Mm-hmm. It's choreographed. You know what I'm saying? But they do it because they love it. And they do it to entertain us. Right. And I've been entertaining since 1985. So, hey, I mean, I'm never going back. Yeah. You know, but, you know, for those that, you know, that are stereotypical about that, man, we can talk all day about what's stereotypical and what's not, but, you know, we don't have time for that right now.
When you think about all the years and just kind of going back, man, who did y'all hate the most?
Oh, that's easy, man. You already know who I'm going to say. I've never, ever been a fan of Hulk Hogan, y'all's hero. Even before the NWO, when he was yellow and red, it's just something about dude I didn't trust. Terry, yeah, we're talking about you. For him, you know, I don't know if it is because, you know, he said you say your prayers and you take your vitamins and you do all. I just didn't buy it. I didn't believe it. This guy, you beat his ass for 30 minutes straight and he just start getting up and shaking and shit, what we call the hulking up phenomenon. I just never trust him. Now when he did.
Oh, shit.
Now when he did. Oh. He was, in my opinion, he was part of the biggest change in professional wrestling to this day in the formation of the New World Order. Now, at that time, I could tolerate him more because I respect and I enjoyed what he did, but I just never got into that Hulkamania phase.
Hey, hold up, man. Let me tell you something.
Hit a nerve.
Let me tell you something.
He did.
That hulking up that you talking about?
Yeah.
Guess what that hulking up did?
What?
It put ass in seats. It put WWE on Saturday nights right after Saturday Night Live. WrestleMania 1, the first WrestleMania. Oh, yeah. Since you have a problem with the hulking up. Hulking up. Hey, guess where we at today? If it wasn't for hulking up, where wrestling would be at? Huh, buddy? Tell me. Please tell me. I just want to know. I just want to know. Because, hey, wasn't nobody wasn't nobody doing that.
Hold up now.
Wasn't nobody doing that.
Hold up, goddamn.
Wasn't nobody wooing. You know what they were doing? They were tearing out T-shirts. That's what they were doing. They were listening to his workout video. Yeah, I had it. So what? Yeah, I did. I had wrestling rings and everything. What? They ain't had Ric Flair action figures, did they? No, they didn't. Now, hook up on that.
Go ahead.
Hook up on that.
Now, see, don't get me wrong. I respect what he's done for the business. He did.
I ain't like he used the N-word. I ain't like that, though. But go ahead.
That's a whole nother story. Yeah. I didn't like him even before that. So just imagine my disdain now. But anyway, yeah, he did the thing. You know, he put it on the map. I will give him that. Bravo. But still, to this guy... But to this guy, Hogan, like I said, he attracted a lot of people. He brought his Hulkamania to wrestling. But again, for me, he just did not appeal. I just couldn't do any opponent that Hogan had, even if I didn't like him. I'm on their side.
How long Ric Flair been wrestling? Please, I want you to answer this. How long
Flair
Ric Flair
has been wrestling. He won his first title in 74.
74? Okay, I'm glad you know that.
Yes.
4 years.
Now, when was the first time he actually had a cartoon? How long did it take? Them same 30-something years, 40 years.
For the now, how long did what was the name of the cartoon show?
Oh, Rock and Wrestling?
Rock and Wrestling.
Yeah, 1985.
How long did it stay functional?
Hey, but guess who was in it? My point exactly.
Look, hey, the man asked the question. I'm just answering it. I just never got into Hulkamania.
I mean, that's fine, sir.
Okay, so you spend.
But whatever you do, don't disrespect.
Oh,
Don't disrespect what put asses in them seats.
Oh, he's respected in that regard. Still don't like his ass. But now, so now you tell us, who did you hate?
Who did I hate? Golly. I didn't, you know what? I really didn't,
Say John Cena.
I really didn't, back in the day, I didn't have a person that I really just hated, like, oh God, you get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Until that guy showed up.
Oh, I know who you gonna say too.
Five Knuckle Shuffle, man.
Oh,
Dang.
I mean,
John Cena.
you know what? Take that back. I'm sorry. The listening public out there. You know, I did have an issue with John Cena, and I think, and I'm not even saying it's going to be John Cena's fault on this one, because, you know, we can hear a lot of things that happen backstage, but hey, we're not there. We really don't know. You know, I mean, the man has put in work. The man has been there year in and year out. I mean, even though he ain't got but like 2-3 different moves. And guess what? He hulks up too. And what did that do for him? 16-time world champion, and he put asses in seats. Oh, and by the way, he sells a lot of merchandise. But anyway, that's besides the point. We're not going to go.
We invite him on the show.
We're not going to go back in the past, okay? But the Roman Reigns situation. And I feel like I shouldn't. Maybe I had to be real with myself here. At one point, yeah, I disliked dude. I hated dude. But you know what? It's really not his fault for why he's being hated. He was put in a position that allowed him to be hated by many. And that position was the Daniel Bryan situation. You know, there was a point where Daniel Bryan, everybody wanted him to win the Royal Rumble. Didn't happen. Reigns became the victim. It could have been anybody. It could have been Rey Mysterio. It could have been John Cena. It could have been Dolph Ziggler. Whoever would have won that Royal Rumble that night, it could have been Rusev, because I think he was at the end. You would have been hated because everybody wanted the Golden Boy, Daniel Bryan, to win. Understand that. He just happened to be the guy. Now, as far as his promos, that's what I want to go back towards, where when I said it needs to be natural. You can tell it's scripted. You can just tell, and it's like it's not coming off real. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't respect it, because it's like, dog, you don't sound real to us, and then you sound like something that's been regurgitated so many times.
But let me ask you this then: as scripted as all this feels, it felt like that with The Rock too. But yeah, he's beloved
because The Rock, even though it might have been scripted for him, I think he put a twist on it.
He made it his own.
He made it his own, and it was funny as hell.
Rudy Poo, candy ass.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's natural for him. Like he can just come out there and just. But the way his delivery, it's all about your delivery.
Yeah.
The way he brings that delivery, it's like, damn, that boy good. Yeah. Roman Reigns come out there, it's like, man, nobody don't believe. Shut up, you ain't the big what? The big dog.
He said that's his yard.
And Michael Cole don't make it no better. The big dog, this is yard. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's your yard, even though you lose all the time. And of course, and then another thing, I've never seen, I said this the other night, I've never seen a guy lose so many championship matches and looks like he's going to be in line for another one.
Oh yeah, that's without.
That's the part where I think now, if we want to talk about the state of wrestling, we are a lot smarter than the average bear. You can't just pull the wool over our eyes anymore. We know what you're trying to do. And we just ain't rolling with that. Like, you're basically insulting us.
That's why the ratings are going down.
Yeah, because, back in the day, ratings were like 6.5, 7.5. Yeah. They averaged that every week. Now, man, you might get 2.5, 3 on a good night.
If that.
Now, let me ask you this, and this is something that I've kind of talked about, and I feel is a big detractor from wrestling now, is the age of dirt sheets and social media. How big of an impact do you think that's had to how we view wrestling today versus when we didn't know what the hell was going on? We had to tune in and watch and be surprised like everybody else. But now we get these hints and these clues of what to expect. How do you think that kind of played a part into the WWE product that we watch today?
It killed the industry, period, point blank. It killed the industry. There's really nothing else to really say about it. When we were in the dark, that's when it was the best.
Exactly.
Because you didn't know what to expect. Your job was to tune in every Monday, every Saturday, every Sunday, Thursday, WCW, whatever the case may be, to find out when that whole Hulk Hogan deal went down, NWO.
Yeah. That was it.
You can't pull that no more. Why? Because it's been done. Yeah. Everybody sit out here and talk about they want John Cena to turn heel for what? It's not going to be real. It's not going to be organic. Roman Reigns, you want Roman Reigns to be heel. Why? So now you can cheer him? That's not being real. That's being a fake fan. You want WWE to cater for your needs. So then you can all of a sudden cheer this guy after you've been booing his ass for like 5-6 years. Yeah. That's not real. What was real was when Hulk Hogan came down that damn aisle at Bash at the Beach, 96. Got in that ring, and dropped the hell out of Randy Savage. Hey, threw me off. I said, wait a minute. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And for people that don't know, that wasn't old enough to know Hulk Hogan way back in the day, when he was actually a bad guy, and Freddie Blassie was his manager. Freddie Blassie was his manager, and also Jimmy Hart was his manager back then when he was in Memphis. But it was so long from that point to the man being in red and yellow. Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. And then all of a sudden on that one fateful night, he gave all middle fingers to all you kids, to all you parents, to whoever else that gave a damn about Hulk Hogan. I loved it.
I did.
I loved it, you know what I'm saying? And what a lot of people don't know about me, I go by Blackout Jones. Reason why I go by Blackout Jones? Because of a group that some people may not be familiar with in an organization called CZW called the Blackout. Ruckus, Sabian, Eddie Kingston, Joker, Human Tornado was part of it, Jack Evans was part of it, Ricky Reyes was part of it, Larry Legend, he's part of it. I met him a couple of times. Chrissy Rivera, can't leave her out because she was the manager, along with Robbie Marino. That's why my name is Blackout Jones. Now, some people, and this is an exclusive for people that don't know, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, in a circle of mine, I'm also known as Hollywood because of Hollywood Hulk Hogan. My homeboy, name is Daniel. I ain't gonna give out his last name because, I'm not gonna go into that right now, but his name was Daniel. And we worked at Sears together, and he gave me the name. And from that point on, anybody else that we knew or came in contact with, that's my name. And that's my name to this day when I come home. Don't nobody call me Blackout except for maybe 1 or 2 people. Really, 2 people. And that's AK and another homeboy named Tony. They're the only 2. But everyone else, I'm Hollywood. So, my names, my aliases are from wrestling. And I respect that. And even when I'm on like Facebook, I give out shout outs to the Blackout. I let them know, hey, this is how I got my name. I respect y'all, respect everything that you've done. I'm even friends with some of them on Facebook. talk to them, and don't like. And I ain't saying like talk to them or like they post just, oh yeah, no, like we be having some conversation.